Now let's do the next question. Calculate the mean of the losses and the standard deviation of the losses. Calculate all the payments of the insurance. So let's try to actually do this one. Let's try to do this one. So what we're gonna do first is to find the losses and all of that. So let's go to the spreadsheet. Let's go to the spreadsheet. Okay, so we have the spreadsheet here. Normally, I know that we're gonna use payment at a certain point. So let me go back to the questions. I know that we have to calculate all the payment the insurance is going to make to each customer. So I know that. So let me start with that first. Let me calculate all the payment. I'm going to put all the payment of the insurance company. I can see it here. Okay, and I can see that I'm gonna calculate the payment that each client is going to make. So let me calculate that, and then from there, because from this payment I'll have to calculate the means and standard deviation, just like as with the losses. Okay, so let me actually create that first. Okay, okay. So as I said, I know for a fact that I'm gonna use insurance payment. So let me create here a column called insurance payment. Payment, insurance payment. And after the insurance payment, we're gonna calculate the insured payment, the amount of money that every insured is going to pay. You label as the insured payment. Okay, so from there we can actually calculate the insurance payment. So the insurance payment is actually so here, like, what we're doing now is to answer the question, the insurance, about the insurance payment. Like, I'm skipping this, and I want to have that first and foremost, all the payment of the insurance, and then I already have all the losses that is already given, but I want to calculate this one first, question number 3, and then question number 5, calculate the payment that each client is going to make. So let me do this. So this is based on the formula, like I said. Here's our losses. Here we have our losses. These represent the losses. Now, for each losses, if the loss is less than the deductible, the insurance pays zero. Okay, according to the formula that we have here. Okay, so let x represent all of that. So if x, the loss is between 0 and 100,000, the insurance pays nothing. But if the loss is between the deductible and 600,000, the insurance has to pay this amount. So we need to enter this function in Excel. So in Excel, this is how we're going to proceed. We're going to write the following: if the loss is less than the deductible, okay, this is what we're going to tell Excel. We're going to use the function in Excel called if. Okay, the if function starts with a equal. Okay, any function in Excel is being invoked using the term equal sign. So it's using the equal sign. So if the loss, okay, our loss is less than the deductible, then Excel should return 0. Okay, Excel should return a 0. Otherwise, so this second comma is like an otherwise return 0.6. Sorry about that, is 0.6. 0.6 multiplied by the uh, loss minus the deductible. Okay, so here, if the loss is less than the deductible, the function will return a 0. Otherwise, the function will return 0.6 multiplied by the loss minus the deductible. Okay, now let's think about this function. For instance, so let's try to apply this function. Let me go back to my Excel. Let's suppose that I have, for example, I know that x is between let's say if I have x like greater than 600,000, no, if x is greater than 100,000, let's say 115,000. Okay, 165,000, 200,000, 200 and this. normally Excel has to return to me x minus the deductible. Okay, so equal to, that's the equal sign in Excel, equal to the value here, the loss. So let's suppose that this is a loss. Let's suppose that this is a loss, and this is our x, and then this is our insurance payment y. Okay, so this is equal to, so if I want to find y is supposed to be equal to, using the if function. As you can see, if is a function. If the loss, this is my loss here, this value here is less than the deductible. Let's suppose that the deductible is 100,000, 100, 1, 2, 3, then return 0. Okay, so if this is true, if this is less than, return 0. Otherwise, value if it is false. Otherwise, do the following: 0.6 x, this is my x, minus the deductible, 1, 2, 3. Other one, return 0.6 x minus the deductible, and I close the parentheses for this express, for this one here, and I'm gonna close the parentheses for the if function. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, so if x is greater than, so here we have, so here the insurance payment company is going to pay let's see, okay, I think I put 1 million here, no, 100,000, yes, 0, and then yes. Alright, now press enter, and here I have 30,000. Okay, 30,000. Okay, 30,000. Okay, so the loss here shows me that the insurance company is going to pay 30,000, and the insured is going to pay the remaining. Now let's suppose that I have a loss of, because according to the function, according to our function here, according to the function, so according to the function, if x is greater than 600,000, the insurance has to pay this. So let's try to find the x that is greater than 600,000. Normally we should have 300,000. Okay, before I even do that, let me write 750, for example. 750, 850. Okay, so these are other values that are greater than greater than the deduct, that 600, greater than 600,000. Let me put them in green. Okay, and these values that are between x and the deductible, let me put them in blue. Okay, now continuing, so what I can do now with Excel, instead of repeating this calculation with again in this cell to calculate the payment here, what I can do, I can drag down this, I can drag down this number, and the calculation being made on that cell are going to be copied on the other cell. So for example, if I drag this one down, so read carefully, here you see that if E10, so the value in E10, this value here, is less than 100,000, return 0. Otherwise, return 0.6 E10 minus 100,000. Okay, so now we want to apply the same rule in here, and like in here for on these other values here. So I'm going to drag this one down like this. Okay, so the formula is going to be applied to the subsequent cells here. Let's look. Okay, so here now what's happened, as you can see, automatically Excel has that intelligence of knowing that you want the calculation being made here also. So here Excel does the same thing. So it goes, so you have the payment for this one, So for a loss of 165,000, if E11, so this value here, E11 is less than 100,000, return 0. Otherwise return 0.6, E11 minus 100,000. Okay, so let me apply the formula here. Normally here we should have 300,000, but we, okay, let me continue. Okay, let me, if you see like something like this, expand. So to expand, you come here and then you double click. Okay, it will expand. Okay, so here I have, instead of having instead of having it being capped to 300,000, it is not capped at 300,000, but it has it continues to apply the formula 0.6 the x minus the deductible. Okay, but you want to have the case where if it reaches 600,000, anything greater than 600,000 is supposed to be equal to 300,000. So we want that. So let me go back to the formula here. So normally with 755, because 755 is greater than the loss of 600,000, we should have this, but we don't have that. So in Excel we need to fix our function. So we need to actually change the function that we use. Okay, we want to use like a function that will allow us to reflect the fact that if we have reached a value greater than 600,000, we obtain 300,000 in here. So to do so, let's go back here and see. So we can use what we call the minimum function. So equal to the minimum. So in Excel, the minimum function does the following. If I want the minimum between, for example, 5 and 7, what I can do, I can type equal to the minimum of these two values in here, and Excel will return the minimum of these two. Okay, if I want the minimum of of this and that, it will return this, and then comma that, it will return the minimum value. So this is what I'm going to use here, the minimum value. So what I'm going to tell Excel is the following. I'm going to tell Excel, you know what, if the loss is less than the deductible, if the loss is less than the deductible, return a 0. Otherwise return 0.6 x minus deductible. But I want actually the minimum between that value that I'm going to obtain in here and 300,000, just in case. So if I have a value that is greater than, if I obtain a value here that is greater than 300,000, I have to select the minimum between the two. Okay, and I would say take the minimum of 300,000. Okay, so this is reflected by this function. If loss is less than the deductible, return 0. Otherwise return 0.6 loss minus deductible. But you want the minimum between this value that you're going to obtain in here and the benefit limit of 300,000. So if you have a value that is exceeding, if you obtain a value here that is exceeding your benefit limit, you'll have to actually pay the benefit limit. Okay, so you will select the minimum between the benefit limit and whatever value that you found here. Okay, going back here to my Excel spreadsheet, what I'm going to do is here I'm going to update the function. I'm going to use here the minimum, okay, minimum, and then here I'm going to change it to, I want to be at least 600,000. So anything that is above 600,000 will be capped at 600,000. Okay, and then I close, press enter. Okay, I think, yeah, I close one. Okay, I close it, press enter. Okay, so this one doesn't change, and then let me drag it down. You see that those two are going to change. These are not going to change, but the red, the green one are going to change. These three are not going to change, but these two are going to change. Okay, let me drag it down. Okay, minimum if that. Okay, no, here normally it will be the cap of 300,000, not 600,000. The cap. So if the benefit limit, if it reaches the benefit limit, it needs to stop. So these two are going to change. Let me do it. I can double click. Okay, as you can see, if it's greater than 600,000, you obtain 300,000 here. 300,000. Okay, so this is how we apply the formula here in Excel. Okay, this is how we apply this formula. So let me delete these. Delete. Okay. All right. Now going back to the first question. In your report. In your report, you write your name, find the minimum and the maximum value. Write the minimum amount of loss is this, and the maximum amount of loss is that. Okay, you've answered the question. So we were at the question number 2, and I was saying that I was going to calculate first all the payment of the insurance, and then I'm going to calculate all the payment of the insured, and then after that I'm going to calculate the mean and standard deviation of the losses, the payments from the insured and the insurer. Okay,